The crisis hits. The galaxy was in chaos. For weeks, news had spread of an alien armada moving toward human space. The ships were enormous, and their technology was advanced. But no one could have predicted the scale of destruction they were about to unleash. It was a quiet evening on the human colony of New Terra. The colony, a small but thriving settlement on the edge of human space, was bustling with activity. People were going about their daily routines, unaware of the danger approaching. In the Space Command Center, Commander Lisa Grant reviewed reports. Her face was tense as she scanned the latest intelligence. "We've got to do something," she muttered to herself. Without warning, the alarm bells rang through the colony. The sound was jarring, slicing through the calm like a knife. Panic spread quickly as people scrambled for cover. In the sky above New Terra, the alien ships appeared, blotting out the stars with their sheer size. They were sleek, metallic, and ominous, their dark hulls gleaming in the light of distant stars. Commander Grant's voice crackled over the intercom. "All personnel, this is not a drill. The alien fleet has arrived. Prepare for immediate evacuation." The people of New Terra had trained for emergencies, but nothing could prepare them for this. Families rushed to the evacuation pods, their faces filled with fear and determination. The once orderly colony was now a scene of controlled chaos. Ships loaded with civilians, supplies, and equipment began to lift off, leaving behind a deserted landscape. The alien ships began their assault. Beams of energy shot down from the sky, striking buildings and infrastructure. Explosions erupted, sending debris flying. The once bustling colony was now a war zone. The alien forces seemed to target anything that moved, their aim precise and deadly. In the midst of the attack, a group of human soldiers took their positions. Sergeant Jake Thompson, a seasoned veteran, barked orders to his team. "We hold them here. Don't let them get through." The soldiers fought bravely, using every weapon and tactic they knew. But the aliens' advanced technology made their weapons seem almost ineffective. Alien drones flew overhead, firing laser beams and dropping bombs. The soldiers' efforts were valiant, but the aliens had superior firepower. Commander Grant watched the chaos from the command center. Her face was set in grim determination. She knew that the situation was dire. New Terra was a crucial outpost, and its fall would mean a significant loss for the human forces. "We need reinforcements," she said to her communication officer. "Send out a distress signal to all nearby fleets. We can't hold them off for long." As the battle raged on, the alien ships continued their assault, causing more destruction. The once strong defenses of New Terra were breaking down. The aliens seemed relentless, their ships cutting through the colony's defenses like a hot knife through butter. The distress signal was broadcasted, but the response was slow. Other species in the galaxy had their own problems, or simply did not care about the plight of the humans. The message was clear: the humans were on their own. Back on the ground, the situation grew more desperate. The evacuation was almost complete, but not everyone could be saved. Commander Grant and her team worked tirelessly, directing the remaining civilians to safety. Every moment was critical as the alien attacks grew fiercer. Sergeant Thompson and his soldiers fought with everything they had. They set up barricades and laid traps, hoping to slow the alien advance. Their efforts bought some time, but it was clear that they were fighting a losing battle. The alien ships had breached the last of the defenses, and the colony was in ruins. In the final moments of the attack, Commander Grant gave one last order. "Prepare to abandon the command center. We need to make sure the civilians get out safely." The team worked swiftly, ensuring that all the remaining personnel and civilians were evacuated. As the last pods departed, the sight of New Terra's destruction was heart-wrenching. The colony, once a symbol of human progress and hope, was now a smoldering wreck. The alien forces hovered above, victorious and unchallenged. The humans had fought bravely, but it was not enough. The aftermath of the attack left the galaxy in shock. News of New Terra's fall spread quickly. The other species and planets watched from a distance, some with pity, others with indifference. The humans had faced a grave threat and had fought valiantly, but they had been left to face it alone. Commander Grant and Sergeant Thompson, along with the survivors, were now refugees. They had lost their home, but they had not lost their spirit. The attack had shown the galaxy what humans were capable of, but it also revealed their vulnerability. The fight was far from over, and the humans needed to regroup and find a way to defend themselves. The galaxy watched with a mix of fear and curiosity. The humans had been tested, and the outcome was uncertain. But one thing was clear: the humans were not going to give up easily. The struggle for survival had just begun, and the galaxy would soon learn what it truly meant to face the wrath of humanity. The killer image, the fall of New Terra, was a devastating blow, but it also ignited a fire within the human spirit. The galaxy had long held a reputation of humans as fierce and unyielding fighters, a reputation earned through countless battles and fierce defense of their territories. The term killer was often used to describe them, a label that both impressed and frightened others. On the bustling space station Vanguard, the mood was tense. Humans from all corners of the galaxy gathered here, their faces marked by the stress of the recent attack. Among them was Captain Sarah Rhodes, a decorated veteran known for her ruthlessness in battle. She was a figure of legend, both respected and feared. Her eyes were steely as she addressed the assembled troops. "We've lost a lot, but we're not done yet. We have a reputation to uphold. The galaxy thinks they can push us around. It's time to show them they're wrong." The human soldiers, seasoned and new alike, listened intently. The term killer had become both a badge of honor and a burden. It represented their fighting spirit, but also cast a shadow over their true intentions. Many viewed the humans as brutal and merciless, a view shaped by their history of aggressive defense. Captain Rhodes and her peers were determined to change this perception. In the military briefing room, Lieutenant James Carter, an up-and-coming strategist, prepared for the upcoming campaign. He spread out maps and data on the table, his face set in concentration. "We need to hit them where it hurts. The aliens think we're done for, but we've got a few tricks up our sleeves." His colleagues nodded, impressed by his confidence and clear plan. The reputation of being killers was not just about their combat skills. It was also about their drive and ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. Humans were known for their relentless pursuit of victory, using every resource available to outsmart their enemies. This trait was both admired and feared across the galaxy. Across the galaxy, the attack on New Terra had sparked discussions among other species. Some saw it as a sign of the human strength, while others viewed it as a warning. The Xantor, a species known for their diplomacy and peacekeeping, were particularly concerned. Their ambassador, Zara, met with the Council of Species to discuss the implications. "The humans are more than just fighters. Their survival instincts and resourcefulness make them a formidable opponent. We should consider offering aid, if only to keep the balance." The council debated Zara's suggestion. Some members were wary, fearing that helping humans might provoke the aliens further. Others felt it was the right thing to do, recognizing that the humans had been left to fend for themselves. The debate was heated, reflecting the uncertainty and fear that the alien threat had caused. Back on Vanguard, Captain Rhodes and Lieutenant Carter continued their preparations. They reviewed intelligence reports and coordinated with other human factions. The goal was clear: to reclaim lost ground and prove that humans were more than their killer image. They wanted to show that their fighting spirit came from a place of strength and resilience, not just aggression. As they planned their counteroffensive, the team faced internal challenges. Many soldiers struggled with the fear of another defeat, while others were eager to prove themselves. Captain Rhodes worked to unify the group, emphasizing the importance of their mission. "We're not just fighting for survival. We're fighting to show the galaxy who we really are. We're fighters, yes, but we're also protectors and allies." The human military forces began to gather for their next move. Their reputation as killers was both a strength and a challenge. They needed to harness their fighting skills and channel their energy into a focused strategy. Each member of the team understood the stakes and the need to fight not just for their own survival, but to change the perception of humanity in the galaxy. As preparations continued, the human forces received some unexpected support. A few alien species, impressed by the humans' resolve and bravery, offered assistance. Their help was modest, but it was a sign of changing attitudes. The humans were starting to gain recognition not just for their fighting prowess, but for their courage and determination. On the battlefield, the first skirmishes of the new campaign began. The human forces faced the aliens with renewed vigor. The aliens, accustomed to easy victories, were surprised by the humans' relentless attacks. The humans fought with a combination of skill and creativity, using every advantage. Captain Rhodes and Lieutenant Carter watched the progress with a mix of satisfaction and caution. They knew that the fight was far from over and that proving their worth would take more than a few victories. It was about changing perceptions and demonstrating that their strength came from a deeper place. As the battles continued, the galaxy began to take notice. The humans were no longer just seen as killers, but as complex beings with a strong sense of justice and resilience. The battles fought were not just about survival, but about redefining their place in the galaxy. The fight to reclaim their reputation and secure their future had only just begun. The humans were determined to show that their strength was more than just brute force. It was a combination of bravery, strategy, and an unyielding spirit. The galaxy would soon see that the true measure of humanity was not in their label, but in their actions and their unbreakable will. Assembling the team, the loss at New Terra had left the human forces reeling, but it also sparked a renewed sense of determination. Captain Sarah Rhodes knew that to turn the tide, they needed a specialized team, one that could use their skills and knowledge to their advantage. The task ahead was daunting, but she was ready to face it head-on. On Vanguard, the headquarters for the human military, Captain Rhodes called for a high-priority meeting. The room was filled with top commanders, strategists, and key soldiers. They were all eager to hear her plan. As everyone settled in, Captain Rhodes stood at the front, her face showing the weight of their recent losses. "Everyone, we've been dealt a tough hand," she began, "but we're not done yet. To fight back and reclaim our ground, we need a team of our best and brightest. We need specialists who can handle any challenge thrown at them." Lieutenant James Carter, who had quickly gained respect for his strategic mind, nodded in agreement. "We need people who think outside the box, who can adapt quickly and fight smart. Our usual tactics won't be enough." Captain Rhodes took a deep breath and started to list the qualities they needed in their new team. "We're looking for individuals with exceptional skills in combat, strategy, and technology. People who can lead, innovate, and push through the toughest situations." The first person they recruited was Sergeant Jake Thompson, known for his bravery and tactical prowess. Jake had a reputation for taking on the impossible and coming out on top. He was a natural leader, and his experience in high-pressure situations made him a valuable addition to the team. Next was Dr. Emily Carter, a top scientist with expertise in alien technology. Her knowledge would be crucial for understanding and countering the advanced tech used by the alien invaders. Emily had been working on reverse engineering alien weapons before the attack, and her insights could provide the edge they needed. The third recruit was Captain Raj Patel, a former Special Forces operative with a knack for covert operations. Raj was known for his stealth and ability to gather intelligence without being detected. His skills would be essential for undercover missions and gathering crucial information about the enemy. Finally, they brought in Sergeant Maya Ortiz, a skilled pilot with experience in maneuvering through intense combat situations. Maya's ability to navigate and pilot spacecraft under extreme conditions would be critical for their planned attacks and evacuations. Assembling the team was only the first step. Once the core members were selected, Captain Rhodes and Lieutenant Carter focused on getting them prepared. They organized a series of briefings and training sessions to bring everyone up to speed. During one of these sessions, Captain Rhodes addressed the team. "We have a lot to do, and time is short. Each of you brings something unique to the table, and together we can make a difference. We need to work as one, relying on each other's strengths and covering each other's weaknesses." The team began their preparation with intense training exercises. They practiced combat drills, simulated missions, and strategized over countless scenarios. Dr. Emily Carter worked with the engineers to develop countermeasures against the alien technology, while Captain Raj Patel focused on gathering intelligence and assessing enemy movements. The soldiers and pilots, led by Sergeant Maya Ortiz, conducted mock battles and simulated space dogfights. Their training was rigorous, pushing them to their limits. The goal was to ensure that when the time came to face the enemy, they would be ready for anything. As the days passed, the team members grew closer. They learned to trust each other and rely on each other's skills. The bonds they formed during training would become crucial in the heat of battle. They shared stories, laughed, and supported one another through the grueling exercises. Despite their progress, there were moments of doubt and tension. Some team members struggled with the fear of another failure, while others wrestled with the weight of their new responsibilities. Captain Rhodes worked hard to address these concerns, providing encouragement and focusing on the mission at hand. In one of their late-night strategy sessions, Lieutenant Carter gathered the team to discuss their upcoming mission. "We have the tools and the skills, but we also need to stay sharp mentally. This fight is as much about our willpower as it is about our tactics. We need to be ready for anything." The team nodded in agreement, their determination evident. They were ready to take on the challenge and show the galaxy that humans were not just survivors, but warriors with a purpose. Their goal was clear: to strike back at the aliens and reclaim their lost ground. As the team continued their preparation, they received a small but significant boost. Several alien species, moved by the humans' bravery and determination, offered limited support. This help included additional resources and information that would aid in their fight. With their preparations nearing completion, the team was ready to launch their counteroffensive. They were a well-oiled machine, each member playing a crucial role in the fight against the alien invaders. The upcoming battles would test their skills and their resolve, but they were prepared to face whatever came their way. Captain Rhodes and her team knew that their mission was not just about winning battles, it was about proving their worth and changing perceptions. The galaxy had labeled them as killers, but they were determined to show that their strength came from more than just their fighting abilities. They were ready to demonstrate their resilience, their strategy, and their unwavering commitment to defending their home and their people. The fight was just beginning, and the team was prepared to face the challenges ahead. They knew that their journey would be difficult, but they were united in their purpose. Together, they would confront the alien threat and show the galaxy the true meaning of human courage and strength. Training and prep with the core team assembled, Captain Sarah Rhodes and Lieutenant James Carter shifted their focus to preparing for the upcoming battle. The goal was not only to train the team, but also to ensure they were ready to face the alien threat head-on. They knew that the success of their mission depended on their preparation and teamwork. The first week of training was intense. The team gathered in the Simulation Center, a high-tech facility designed to replicate various combat scenarios. The walls were lined with screens displaying different environments, from alien landscapes to space battlefields. The team would face these simulated challenges to sharpen their skills and strategies. Captain Rhodes took the lead in the initial drills. "We need to be sharp and precise," she said. "Every action must be calculated. Our enemies won't give us any second chances." The team members listened carefully, their faces showing determination. Sergeant Jake Thompson, known for his combat skills, led the physical training sessions. He pushed the team through grueling exercises, from hand-to-hand combat to endurance runs. "This is where we build strength," Jake said, as he demonstrated a series of defensive maneuvers. "In battle, you'll need to rely on your physical abilities as much as your tactics." Dr. Emily Carter, the expert in alien technology, worked with the engineering team to test and develop new countermeasures. She explained the alien tech's weaknesses and how to exploit them. "We need to understand their systems inside and out," Emily said, examining a captured alien weapon. "Only then can we develop effective countermeasures." Captain Raj Patel, the covert operations specialist, focused on stealth and intelligence gathering. He set up mock missions where the team had to infiltrate simulated alien bases without being detected. "Stealth is crucial," Raj emphasized. "We need to gather information without giving away our position." Sergeant Maya Ortiz, the skilled pilot, took the team through space combat simulations. Her focus was on maneuvering and quick reflexes. "In space, every second counts," Maya explained as she demonstrated evasive maneuvers. "You need to be ready for anything, and you need to trust your instincts." As the team progressed through their training, they encountered various challenges. They faced unexpected obstacles and had to adapt their strategies on the fly. The simulations were designed to test their limits and push them to think creatively. One day, during a particularly challenging exercise, the team faced a simulated attack by a swarm of alien drones. The exercise was chaotic, with drones appearing from all directions. The team had to work together to fend off the attack and protect their simulated base. Dr. Emily Carter, who had been monitoring the exercise, saw an opportunity to test their new countermeasures. She activated a prototype device designed to disrupt the drone's signals. The device worked flawlessly, and the drones began to malfunction. "This is exactly what we needed," Emily said, her eyes gleaming with satisfaction. The success of the exercise boosted the team's confidence. They saw firsthand how their preparations could turn the tide in their favor. The simulated victories gave them hope and motivation as they continued their training. Despite their progress, the team faced moments of doubt and fatigue. The rigorous training took a toll on their bodies and minds. Captain Rhodes made sure to address these issues by holding team meetings and offering support. "We're in this together," she reminded them. "We push through the hard times and come out stronger." One evening, after a particularly tough day, the team gathered for a break. They shared stories and talked about their experiences. The camaraderie they built during training was evident in their conversations. They laughed, encouraged each other, and bonded over their shared mission. Lieutenant Carter took the opportunity to discuss their upcoming mission. "We've made great progress," he said. "But remember, the real challenge will be applying what we've learned in a real combat situation. We need to stay focused and be prepared for anything." As the days went by, the training sessions became more intense and specialized. The team practiced specific tactics and strategies tailored to their individual roles. They fine-tuned their skills, working on precise coordination and quick decision-making. The preparation also included briefings on the alien force's tactics and technology. The team studied the aliens' movements and behavior to anticipate their strategies. The goal was to stay one step ahead and exploit any weaknesses they could find. In addition to the technical and physical training, Captain Rhodes emphasized the importance of mental preparation. "Combat is as much about mental toughness as it is about physical skill," she said. "Stay focused, stay sharp, and never underestimate your enemy." As the training period came to a close, the team felt ready to face the challenges ahead. They had honed their skills, built strong bonds, and gained valuable insights into the alien threat. The next step was to put their training into action and launch their counteroffensive. Captain Rhodes and her team were determined to show the galaxy that humans were not just survivors, but formidable opponents. Their training had prepared them for the fight, and they were ready to prove their worth. The battles ahead would be tough, but they faced them with confidence and a deep sense of purpose. The time for action had arrived. The team was ready to take on the alien threat, armed with their skills, their determination, and their unbreakable spirit. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting to reclaim their place in the galaxy and to show that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. The first clash the day had arrived. After weeks of rigorous training and preparation, Captain Sarah Rhodes and her elite team were ready to face their first real battle against the alien forces. The time for theory and drills was over. Now they had to put their skills to the test. The team assembled in the briefing room aboard the Vanguard. The room buzzed with anticipation as Captain Rhodes outlined their mission. "Today, we hit the alien supply depot on the edge of the sector. It's heavily guarded, but it's crucial for their operations. If we can take it out, we'll deal a significant blow to their forces." Lieutenant James Carter pointed to a holographic map of the depot. "The facility is surrounded by defensive turrets and patrols. We'll need to breach the outer defenses, disable the turrets, and plant explosives in the core areas. Timing and coordination will be key." Sergeant Maya Ortiz reviewed the flight plans for the insertion. "Our shuttle will land just outside the depot's perimeter. From there, we'll need to move quickly and quietly to avoid detection. I'll handle the landing and cover the extraction." The team nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. Sergeant Jake Thompson, leading the ground assault, checked his gear one last time. "Remember, stick to the plan and watch each other's backs. We've trained for this, and we're ready." The shuttle departed from Vanguard, heading towards the alien supply depot. The stars streaked by as the crew prepared for their mission. The tension in the shuttle was palpable, but the team remained focused. Each member knew their role and was eager to perform it to the best of their ability. As they approached the depot, Maya expertly navigated the shuttle through the asteroid field that surrounded the facility. "We're almost there," she said, her voice steady. "Prepare for landing." The shuttle touched down smoothly on a hidden plateau just outside the depot's perimeter. The team disembarked quickly, moving into position. Sergeant Thompson took the lead, signaling for the team to follow. The depot loomed ahead, its towering structures and defensive turrets clearly visible. The team moved silently through the shadows, avoiding the patrols and staying out of sight. They reached the outer perimeter without incident, their training paying off. Dr. Emily Carter and Lieutenant Carter worked together to disable the first set of turrets. Emily used her tech skills to hack into the control systems, while James covered their position. "Got it," Emily whispered as the turrets powered down. With the first line of defense neutralized, the team pressed forward. They encountered a few alien patrols, but managed to take them out quietly, using their training to avoid raising any alarms. The stealth and coordination they had practiced were paying off. As they approached the core of the depot, the team encountered the facility's main defenses. The central area was heavily guarded, with more turrets and a stronger alien presence. Captain Rhodes called for a brief halt to reassess their strategy. "We need to create a diversion," she said. "Emily, can you hack into their communication systems and cause a distraction? Raj, you and Jake will cover the breach." Emily nodded, quickly setting to work. She accessed the depot's communication network and triggered an alarm, drawing the guards away from their posts. The diversion worked as planned, and the team moved in, exploiting the gap in the defenses. They reached the core area, where they planted the explosives. Sergeant Thompson and Captain Rhodes oversaw the operation, ensuring that the charges were set correctly. "We've got 10 minutes before the explosives are set to go off," Jake said, glancing at his watch. "Let's move." The team began their withdrawal, retracing their steps to the shuttle. Their path was not without obstacles. The alien forces quickly realized the breach and mounted a counterattack. The team had to fight their way back, engaging in fierce combat as they made their way to the extraction point. Maya's piloting skills were put to the test as she maneuvered the shuttle through the chaotic atmosphere of the battle. "Hang on!" she shouted as she expertly dodged enemy fire. The shuttle made several evasive maneuvers, narrowly avoiding incoming missiles. The team managed to board the shuttle and take off just as the depot's core exploded in a massive fireball. The explosion lit up the space around them, and the shockwave rocked the shuttle. "We're clear," Maya announced, breathing a sigh of relief. Headed back to Vanguard. Back aboard Vanguard, the team debriefed and assessed the results of their mission. The destruction of the supply depot was a significant success, disrupting the alien forces and dealing a blow to their operations. The team's efforts had shown their ability to execute complex operations under pressure. Captain Rhodes praised her team. "Excellent work, everyone. We executed the mission flawlessly and struck a significant blow to the enemy. This is just the beginning, but we've proven that we can take on the alien threat." The team celebrated their success, but they knew that the fight was far from over. The alien forces would regroup and retaliate, and they would need to remain vigilant and prepared for the challenges ahead. As they looked out at the stars from Vanguard, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. Their first clash with the alien forces had been a hard-fought victory, but it was a step toward reclaiming their position in the galaxy. They were ready for whatever came next, determined to show that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. The battle against the alien invaders was far from over, but the team had demonstrated their capability and resolve. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting to prove their worth and to change the perception of humanity in the galaxy. With each victory, they would get closer to achieving their goals and showing that humans were more than just killers, but warriors with a purpose and heart. Finding weaknesses. After the success of their first mission, Captain Sarah Rhodes and her team were energized, but aware that their fight was far from over. The destruction of the alien supply depot was a significant victory, but they needed to find and exploit further weaknesses in the alien forces if they hoped to achieve long-term success. The team gathered in the strategy room aboard the Vanguard, where Lieutenant James Carter laid out their next objective. We need to gather more intelligence on the alien forces. We've disrupted their supply chain, but we don't yet understand the full extent of their capabilities or weaknesses. Dr. Emily Carter, the team's tech expert, nodded in agreement. We need to focus on their technology. There might be vulnerabilities we can exploit. I'll need to analyze the data we collected from the depot and see if we can find any patterns or weaknesses. Captain Raj Patel, who had been working on gathering intelligence, spoke up. I've intercepted some alien communications. It seems they're discussing some kind of new weapon or technology. If we can find out more about this, it could give us an edge. Captain Rhodes looked at her team, her expression thoughtful. We'll need to split our efforts. Emily and Raj will focus on analyzing the technology and gathering intel, while the rest of us will continue to disrupt their operations and gather additional information on their movements. The team set to work. Dr. Emily Carter and Captain Raj Patel began their analysis, diving into the data and intercepted communications. Emily accessed the depot's computer systems and started to search for clues about the aliens' new technology. There are several encrypted files related to weapons development, she said. I'll need some time to decrypt them. Raj Patel, meanwhile, analyzed the intercepted messages. It looks like the aliens are planning a major operation soon. If we can get more details, we might be able to disrupt their plans before they even start. While Emily and Raj worked on their tasks, Sergeant Jake Thompson and Sergeant Maya Ortiz were tasked with conducting reconnaissance and further disrupting the aliens. They were sent on a mission to sabotage an alien research facility that might provide more information about the new weapon. The research facility was located on a remote asteroid, heavily guarded by alien forces. Jake and Maya approached the facility under the cover of darkness, using their skills to bypass the security systems. We need to get in, plant the explosives, and gather any data we can find, Jake said, his voice low. Keep your eyes open for anything useful. The two soldiers moved stealthily through the facility, avoiding patrols and surveillance cameras. They reached the data center where Maya began downloading information from the alien computers. Jake stood guard, ready to fend off any intruders. As Maya worked, she found files related to the new weapon. This is it, she said, her eyes scanning the data. The weapon is designed to disrupt energy shields. If they deploy this, it could neutralize our defenses. Jake set the explosives and prepared for their exit. We've got what we need. Let's get out of here before we're spotted. The two soldiers escaped the facility just before the explosives detonated, creating a diversion and buying them time to return to the vanguard. They brought the data back to Emily and Raj, who immediately began analyzing it. Emily worked tirelessly to decrypt the files. This new weapon could be a game changer, she said. We need to develop countermeasures as soon as possible. Raj Patel continued to sift through the intercepted messages. I've found more details about their planned operation. They're gearing up for a large-scale attack on a key location. If we can disrupt this attack, it could significantly weaken their forces. With this new information, Captain Rhodes called a team meeting to discuss their next steps. We have two main objectives, she said. First, we need to develop countermeasures for the new alien weapon. Second, we need to disrupt their planned attack to prevent them from gaining ground. Dr. Emily Carter and her team of engineers worked around the clock to develop and test countermeasures against the alien weapon. They focused on enhancing the energy shields and creating jamming devices to neutralize the weapon's effects. We need to ensure that our defenses are robust, Emily said. This technology could be a significant threat. Meanwhile, the rest of the team prepared for the mission to disrupt the alien operation. They planned a series of strikes designed to cripple the alien forces and prevent them from executing their attack. Lieutenant Carter coordinated the operations, ensuring that each strike was timed perfectly to maximize its impact. The night before the operation, the team reviewed their plans and checked their equipment. The atmosphere was tense, but the team was ready. They knew that the success of their mission depended on their ability to execute their plans flawlessly and stay one step ahead of the enemy. As the operation began, the team executed their strikes with precision. They hit supply depots, communication hubs, and key infrastructure, disrupting the aliens' preparations and causing confusion among their ranks. The alien forces struggled to respond to the coordinated attacks, their plans thrown into disarray. Back on the vanguard, Emily and Raj continued to monitor the situation, providing real-time updates and adjusting their strategies as needed. The countermeasures are working, Emily reported. Our shields are holding up against their new weapon. The team's efforts paid off. The alien operation was severely disrupted, and their planned attack was thwarted. The alien forces were forced to retreat and regroup, their momentum broken by the humans' counteroffensive. Captain Rhodes and her team celebrated their success, knowing that they had achieved a significant victory. They had identified and exploited weaknesses in the alien forces, disrupting their plans and gaining a crucial advantage. The fight was far from over, but the team's successes had boosted their confidence and determination. They had shown that they were not just fighting for survival, but actively shaping the outcome of the conflict. With each victory, they moved closer to reclaiming their place in the galaxy and proving that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. Alien counterattack. Following their recent victory, Captain Sarah Rhodes and her team were riding high on their successes. The disruption of the alien plans had given them a much-needed boost, but they knew that the enemy would not take this lying down. As expected, the aliens were preparing their response, and it was only a matter of time before they would retaliate. The Vanguard was on high alert as the team awaited intelligence on the alien counterattack. Captain Rhodes convened a strategy meeting to discuss their next moves. The atmosphere was tense, with everyone aware of the gravity of the situation. Lieutenant James Carter was the first to speak. We've intercepted some communications indicating that the aliens are planning a major counterattack. They're focusing on our supply lines and key installations. We need to prepare for their assault and fortify our defenses. Dr. Emily Carter, who had been analyzing alien technology, added, "The new weapon we've been working on is crucial. The aliens will likely target it to neutralize our advantage. We need to ensure it's fully operational and that we have contingencies in place." Captain Raj Patel, the team's intelligence expert, reported, "I've tracked their movements. The counterattack will likely come in waves, starting with a series of coordinated strikes on our outer defenses. We need to be ready for a sustained assault." Captain Rhodes nodded, her expression resolute. "We'll implement a multi-layered defense strategy. Maya, I want you and your team to reinforce our space defenses and be prepared for an attack from all directions. Jake, you and Raj will coordinate with the ground teams to secure our installations." Sergeant Maya Ortiz immediately began preparations for the space defense operation. She and her team worked to strengthen the ship's shields and upgrade the weapon systems. "We'll ensure that the Vanguard is ready for any attack," Maya assured the captain. "Our space defenses will be as strong as they can be." On the ground, Sergeant Jake Thompson and Captain Raj Patel worked with the teams to fortify key installations and supply lines. They placed additional security measures and set up rapid response teams to handle any breaches. "We've got to be ready for anything," Jake said as he checked the perimeter defenses. "Our priority is to prevent any damage to our supply lines." As the preparations were underway, the Vanguard's sensors detected an increase in alien activity in the nearby sector. The team knew that the counterattack was imminent. Captain Rhodes gathered the team once more to review their plans. "We're about to face a serious challenge. Stay focused and be ready to adapt. Our goal is to repel their attacks and protect our assets." The alien counterattack began with a series of high-intensity strikes on the Vanguard's outer defenses. The enemy ships arrived in waves, their weapons blazing. The Vanguard's space defenses were immediately put to the test as Maya and her team engaged the alien forces. Maya expertly maneuvered the Vanguard, dodging enemy fire and returning shots with precision. "They're hitting us hard," she reported over the comms, "but our defenses are holding. We just need to stay sharp." On the ground, the alien forces launched their assault on the fortified installations. Sergeant Jake Thompson and his team were on high alert, repelling the alien troops as they attempted to breach the defenses. "They're coming in waves," Jake said, as he directed his team to hold the line. "We've got to push them back and secure our positions." Dr. Emily Carter and her team worked tirelessly to maintain the operational status of their new weapon and other critical systems. "The weapon is holding up well," Emily reported, "but we need to make sure it stays that way." The fighting was intense, with both sides sustaining heavy losses. The team's training and preparation were crucial in managing the pressure of the counterattack. The coordinated defense strategies allowed them to withstand the alien onslaught and prevent significant damage to their installations. Despite their best efforts, the aliens managed to breach some of the outer defenses, causing localized damage. Captain Rhodes quickly adjusted their strategy, deploying additional forces to the affected areas. "We need to contain the damage and push them back," she said, coordinating the response teams. "We can't let them gain a foothold." The battle raged on, with both sides locked in a fierce struggle. The team's efforts paid off as they managed to repel the main waves of the alien assault and regain control of the compromised areas. "We're starting to push them back," Jake reported, his voice filled with determination. "Hold the line, everyone." As the counterattack subsided, the team took stock of the damage and assessed their positions. The alien forces had been repelled, but the battle had taken its toll. The Vanguard's outer defenses were damaged, and several ground installations had been affected. Captain Rhodes praised her team for their resilience and effective response. "We faced a tough counterattack and came out on top. Our defenses held, and we managed to protect our key assets. This is a testament to your hard work and dedication." The team began the process of repairing and reinforcing their defenses. The counterattack had been a stark reminder of the ongoing threat posed by the aliens, but it had also demonstrated their capability to adapt and overcome adversity. In the aftermath of the battle, the team reflected on their experiences. The counterattack had been a significant challenge, but they had proven their ability to withstand and respond to high-pressure situations. They were more determined than ever to continue their fight and defend their position in the galaxy. The alien forces would regroup and likely plan their next moves, but Captain Rhodes and her team were ready. They had shown that they were not only capable of striking against their enemies, but also of defending their ground with strength and resolve. The battle was far from over, but the team remained committed to their mission, prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. The final assault after weeks of fierce battles and intense preparation, the time had come for a decisive confrontation. The alien forces, regrouped and refortified, were preparing for what was expected to be their final massive assault. Captain Sarah Rhodes and her team knew that this would be the ultimate test of their skills and resolve. The outcome of this battle could determine the future of their struggle against the alien invaders. The Vanguard was on high alert as the team gathered in the strategy room. The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. Captain Rhodes addressed her team, her voice steady and commanding. "We've received intelligence that the aliens are launching their final assault. They're concentrating their forces for a full-scale attack on our main base. This is our chance to turn the tide and end this conflict once and for all." Lieutenant James Carter reviewed the latest tactical data. The aliens are deploying their most advanced technology and strongest forces for this attack. "We need to be ready for everything. Our defenses must be impenetrable." Dr. Emily Carter and Captain Raj Patel were busy finalizing their preparations. Emily ensured that the new countermeasures and defense systems were fully operational. "Our shield enhancements and jamming devices are ready," she said. "We've also deployed the new anti-weapon technology to counter their advanced weapons." Raj Patel, analyzing the latest intelligence, added, "The alien forces are launching their assault in 3 waves. The first wave will hit our outer defenses, followed by a second wave targeting key installations. The third wave will be their final push. We need to hold the line through all 3 stages." Sergeant Maya Ortiz and Sergeant Jake Thompson took their positions, readying their teams for the imminent battle. Maya focused on reinforcing the Vanguard's space defenses. "We'll need to repel their attacks and keep our ship operational," she said. "Our space defenses will be critical in this fight." Jake and his team prepared for the ground defense, ensuring that their fortifications were in top condition. "We've set up additional defensive positions and rapid response teams," Jake reported. "We're ready for the first wave." The alien forces began their assault with a massive bombardment on the Vanguard's outer defenses. The space around the ship was lit up with explosions as enemy ships launched coordinated attacks. Maya and her team sprang into action, maneuvering the Vanguard to avoid incoming fire and countering with their own weapons. "Their firepower is intense," Maya reported over the comms. "But our shields are holding. We're making a dent in their forces." On the ground, the first wave of alien troops advanced on their positions. Sergeant Jake Thompson and his team engaged the enemy with precision, using their training and fortifications to hold the line. "They're pushing hard," Jake said, "but we're holding them back." Dr. Emily Carter and her team monitored the battle from the Vanguard, making adjustments to their defensive systems as needed. "We're detecting increased energy readings from the alien weapons," Emily noted. adjusting our countermeasures to compensate. As the first wave was repelled, the alien forces regrouped and prepared for their second assault. The intensity of the battle increased as the aliens focused on attacking key installations, aiming to cripple the Vanguard's operational capabilities. Captain Rhodes coordinated the response, directing her team to reinforce the vulnerable areas. "We need to hold these positions," she said. "This is where they'll try to break through." The second wave hit with renewed force. The Vanguard's installations were under heavy attack, and the ground teams faced fierce fighting. The team's coordination and resilience were put to the test as they worked to prevent the aliens from achieving their objectives. Despite the pressure, the team managed to repel the second wave, with significant damage to the alien forces. The Vanguard's defenses held firm, and the key installations remained secure. The team took a brief moment to regroup and prepare for the final wave. Captain Rhodes addressed her team once more, her expression resolute. "The final wave will be the toughest. The aliens will throw everything they have at us. We need to stay focused and united. This is our chance to end this conflict." The final assault began with a coordinated onslaught of alien ships and ground forces. The space around the Vanguard was filled with enemy ships, and the ground installations were swarmed with alien troops. The team fought with everything they had, their training and determination pushing them to their limits. Maya and her space defense team worked tirelessly to repel the alien ships, using every available weapon and maneuver to keep the Vanguard safe. "We're holding them off," Maya shouted, her voice strained. "But they're relentless." On the ground, Sergeant Jake Thompson and his team engaged the alien forces with fierce determination. "We've got to push them back," Jake urged his team. "This is our last stand. We can't let them break through." Dr. Emily Carter and Captain Raj Patel continued to monitor and adjust the defensive systems, ensuring that the countermeasures were effective against the alien weapons. "The countermeasures are working," Emily reported. "We're neutralizing their advanced technology." The battle reached its climax as the final wave of alien forces made a desperate push. The Vanguard's defenses were tested to their limits, and the ground teams fought bravely to protect their positions. The combined efforts of Captain Rhodes and her team were crucial in repelling the alien assault. As the battle wore on, the alien forces began to falter. Their attacks became less coordinated, and their advances slowed. Captain Rhodes saw the opportunity to launch a counteroffensive. "Prepare for a counterattack," she ordered. "Let's drive them back and end this fight." With renewed energy, the team launched a series of coordinated strikes against the remaining alien forces. The tide of the battle shifted, and the alien invaders were forced to retreat. The final assault had been repelled, and the Vanguard and its team emerged victorious. Exhausted but triumphant, Captain Rhodes and her team surveyed the aftermath of the battle. The alien forces had been driven back, and their threat had been significantly diminished. The team had demonstrated their resilience, skill, and unity in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle was a turning point in the conflict, marking a decisive victory for the humans. Captain Rhodes addressed her team, her voice filled with pride. "We faced the final assault with courage and determination. We've proven that we are capable of defending our position and turning the tide of this conflict. Well done, everyone." The team celebrated their hard-fought victory, knowing that they had achieved a significant milestone in their struggle against the alien invaders. They were ready to continue their fight, prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead as they worked towards securing a lasting peace. After the battle had been fierce and taxing, but the humans had emerged victorious. The alien forces, defeated and in retreat, left behind a scarred battlefield. As the dust settled, Captain Sarah Rhodes and her team began the process of recovery and reflection. The Vanguard, though battered, had survived the assault. The crew worked tirelessly to repair the damage and restore the ship to full operational status. Captain Rhodes, despite her exhaustion, was determined to oversee the recovery efforts personally. She knew that every detail mattered in rebuilding their strength and readiness for future challenges. In the strategy room, Lieutenant James Carter reviewed the battle reports and damage assessments. "We took heavy hits, but our defenses held up better than expected," he said. "The repairs are already underway, and we're working to get all systems back online." Dr. Emily Carter and her team were focused on analyzing the data from the battle. "We've gathered valuable information about the alien tactics and technology," she said. "This will help us improve our defenses and strategies for future encounters." Captain Raj Patel, who had been coordinating with Allied forces and intelligence agencies, reported, "We've established contact with our allies and shared the details of the battle. They're offering support and reinforcements to help us recover." With the immediate damage control underway, the team turned their attention to the aftermath of the battle. The destruction and casualties were significant, and the crew took time to honor their fallen comrades. A memorial service was held on the Vanguard, where Captain Rhodes spoke to the assembled crew. "We have lost friends and comrades in this fight," Captain Rhodes said, her voice filled with emotion. "Their bravery and sacrifice have made our victory possible. We honor their memory and dedicate our efforts to ensuring that their sacrifice was not in vain." The memorial service provided a moment of solace and unity for the crew. It was a reminder of the high cost of their struggle, but also a testament to their shared commitment and resilience. As the recovery efforts continued, the crew began to rebuild their routines and adapt to their new reality. The alien threat had been significantly reduced, but there was still work to be done. The team focused on reinforcing their defenses, repairing the damaged installations, and ensuring that they were prepared for any future threats. Captain Rhodes held a debriefing with her team to review the lessons learned from the battle. "We faced tremendous challenges and overcame them through teamwork and determination," she said. "Let's take what we've learned and apply it to strengthen our position and ensure that we're ready for whatever comes next." Lieutenant Carter, Dr. Emily Carter, and Captain Raj Patel each shared their insights and recommendations for improving their strategies and technologies. The team worked together to implement these changes, making adjustments based on their experiences during the battle. The psychological impact of the battle was also a consideration. The crew had endured a great deal of stress and loss, and support services were provided to help them cope with the aftermath. Counseling sessions and group discussions were held to address the emotional toll of the conflict and ensure that the crew remained strong and united. In the weeks following the battle, the Vanguard continued to operate and conduct missions. The team's focus shifted to rebuilding alliances and strengthening their position in the galaxy. They reached out to other factions and planets affected by the conflict, offering support and forging new partnerships. The victory had restored some sense of stability and hope, but the team remained vigilant. They knew that the galaxy was a complex and unpredictable place, and they had to be prepared for any new threats or challenges. Their experiences had made them stronger and more capable, and they approached their work with renewed determination. Captain Rhodes reflected on the journey they had undertaken. "We've come a long way since the beginning of this conflict," she said. "Our victory has shown what we're capable of, but it's also a reminder of the ongoing responsibility we carry. We must remain vigilant and continue to strive for peace and security in the galaxy." The team's efforts were recognized and appreciated by their allies and the broader galactic community. Their success in repelling the final assault had earned them respect and admiration. The Vanguard became a symbol of resilience and hope, a testament to the strength of humanity and their ability to overcome adversity. As they moved forward, the team remained focused on their mission. They continued to explore new frontiers, seek out allies, and work towards a more secure and peaceful galaxy. The battle had been a defining moment in their journey, but it was just one step in their ongoing quest for a better future. Captain Rhodes and her team knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but they were prepared to face it with the same courage and determination that had carried them through the battle. They were ready to continue their fight for justice and peace, knowing that they had the strength and unity to make a difference in the galaxy. Their victory was not just a moment of triumph, but a new beginning. The team embraced the future with hope and resolve, committed to building a legacy of resilience and courage that would inspire others for years to come.